to do is go through a little bit of definitions, because I think it's important we all get on the same page, depending on where you're at, depending on the region you live and the contractors in your area. You might refer to different things differently. So we're going to talk about the difference between weather barriers, water resistive barriers, air barriers, and vapor retarders, or these vapor barriers. And the first thing as we go through here, in my way I'm going to define this, is a weather barrier is the barrier that protects your building from all of the weather. It's separating inside from outside, temperatures and environments. It's the complete building enclosure, and it includes all these other layers together. So maybe a water resistive barrier, an air barrier, a vapor barrier, thermal insulation. Those are all those layers inside of a weather barrier you're considering of whether you need it or don't need it, where it goes in the wall, if it goes in there at all, and ensuring you're not getting these double things happening that are going to cause you to have your dew point in your wall assembly and potentially any of that mold stuff that we're trying to avoid. Your water resistive barrier is that how we're keeping the water from coming into that building, how we're going to keep that building dry. It's the use of flashing. It's how we're going to put all of this together to understand how we're going to keep the water out of here. And it may or may not meet energy code if you just think about water resistive barriers. And a lot of times folks will think an air barrier and water resistive barrier are the same thing because we were trying to keep water out of the building. But really, you and I, we all know it all comes down to the air barrier, which is what we do to stop air leakage. If we stop air, we stop water. It doesn't always true. If we stop water, we don't always stop air. And so we can't kind of use those things interchangeably. We're going to refer to everything kind of as air barriers today and how we're trying to stop the air leakage. These vapor retarders are also commonly talked about, where it's this intention of reducing that vapor transmission or the rate at which the moisture moves through a material. And we're asking ourselves, do we want to stop that? Are we allowing it to go through? How are we managing that? We're thinking about the whole building. We're thinking about how do we not trap moisture where we don't want it to be? And humidity plays a big part into all of that.